Well, how about we live? We're gonna be live again at 8:32 with the brother Rod Hayes. Skype ape in the building tonight, y'all. We got on a little late. We was waiting on my wife to show up before we dropped this tape. This right here is the extraterrestrial question and answer tape. We got about an hour on this tape before we get to the Rod Hayes tape. Get him in the building, man. We dropping a lot of stuff this month, making it all clear, catching you back up. A lot of these tapes that, especially the Alex Collier tapes, we already had loaded up to the page before, but we had to re-edit them and do them, remix them in order to not to get the copyright. So that's what we went over going on that. So we had to get those tapes back out for you. We got a couple more tapes that's gonna be hitting the streets this week, and we're gonna just keep it to ourselves because it's gonna be stealing, they be jocking. You know what I'm saying? But we got a whole archives of extraterrestrial. People say it right, extraterrestrial. Nah, I say extraterrestrial. That's how I say it. Don't come over telling me how to say. Oh, you know, you saying it wrong. It's not but crack. It's but talks. But man, get your head up. You know, they flag us before we even get started. We ain't even said nothing yet. All right. Let's get that thumbnail pulled up. And let's switch to the laptop. We're gonna be live, ladies and gentlemen, tonight with the brother Rod Hayes at 8:30. We're gonna be live Tuesday night with the brother Rod Hayes.
All right. We're going to talk about a couple things on this tape so we can make it clear for you. Keep in mind that Walk with the Ancestors Tuesday night, 8:30. You don't want to miss that. That's going to be hot. We got the sister Miss Dean coming in the building. We got the sister Miss Dean. They're going to be in there. Right? Going to be in the building. You don't want to miss that. So we're running them back-to-back. We're going to try to get the 15 on tomorrow night for 2 back-to-back. So we're going to hit you non-stop. We on some non-stop action trying to take care of them babies. We want some non-stop action, man. Tell him. On my mama. Non-stop action. Look at that chat pulled up. Right about to everybody that's in the building, yo. Yo. Hey, get your questions ready. This is question and answer. Okay. Hey, we're gonna have Rod in the building tonight. Hey, Rod bot. Okay. Let me see something. What's happening there? Oh yeah. Get him in here. You don't want to miss this one. What's happening here? Load it up. Get that on the screen for him. Yeah. Oh, I'm getting everything set up. Yeah, so the Alex Collier tapes, a lot of the stuff that you saw, he went on and told y'all in the last part, the off-world influence about we were the people. Now he mentioned of a group of beings coming from Cyrus B. That's gonna be the beings that gonna come first. These are the Nomos people. And they can be classified in the same category, these certain group with the Anunnakis. They can be classified in a certain group with the Anunnakis. So we got several. See, the problem with people having when they giving they details on what's happening, they missing some pieces as far as the extracurricular shit. See, like the young elder is the one that have been putting out the extracurricular stuff for the longest, and everybody was saying I was crazy. Now they all starting to put the stuff out, but it just so happened. He says, why you don't believe it's finna be the end? What do you mean? What do you mean the end? Like the end of the world or the end of a type of government? What do you mean when you say the end? The end of what? The end of what, Astro? So you mean what did when Alex Collier said it? I don't get what your reference is to what you're saying. Yeah, so it's more when people telling they giving one, some people only got one perspective, and so they don't know about all the different influences that we got on the planet. We got a lot of different influences from different species, not just the Anunnakis, not just, and it's different species classified like it's over 144 species, there 1,000 species that's on Nibiru, on that one ship Nibiru that comes in our orbit. So it's different species, not just the humanoid type 7-foot Anunnakis. It's more than one species on there. And then, not to count, we got Ashtar Command influence. We got the Andromedans, they really like sort of like a referee in this game or whatever that's going on. They sort of like the referees. They hear they follow in certain guidelines, but they got certain passes where they can interfere if other beings like the Anunnakis interfere. Like, see, after the Anunnakis, after they got charged, Enlil and them got charged where they couldn't come here no more, and the Goa'uld got banned. The Goa'uld got sentenced to Earth. After that, certain other higher dimensional beings stepped in as protectors and guarders of the planet. And one of those people, those groups are, it says, why did he bring us up? He did bring us up in part 2, part 1, I think. He said that these extraterrestrials on Nibiru, these dark-skinned beings, they are the strongest beings. He brought that up in the tape. You ain't watch all 4 of the tapes? Well, it's actually 8 parts. It's actually, the first part is the Andromedans Project, part 1, episode 1 through 4. And then you got the Off-World Influence, which is part 1 through 4. You got to watch all the tapes. And then, see, like, we was hoping that before you came on this class, you watched all the tapes so you would have a better questions when you came on this tape, right? What says that? Explode. You said the sun finna explode? That's what you said? Got a couple more billions of years before it go into its last phase. The last phase is the red phase. So you got a couple more billions of years before it go to the red. It's gonna go into the red phase now. It says they gave us. Hey, yeah, Astro, we can't talk about that because that, that's, we can't go in on that. You got to go to the Patreon and talk about that, Astro. Click, you got to go to the Patreon. You want to get in on that. We got all that on the Patreon for you right there. You know what I'm saying? Say, have I heard of Netaru? Yeah, the Netaru, we got classes on them. We got whole tapes on breaking down the Netaru coming. The Netaru are, I refer to them as Goa'ulds. They are a bloodline that came from a planet called Euless, and then they migrated to, that's in Cyrus, and then they migrated to Orion, and then they came to Earth, the Netarus. And Netarus is nothing but, then you can go into another perspective on it, where it's just beings that's connected with nature, the gods. The word Go'uld means God. Neter, you can say that, you can break that down to God, but it really means nature. And then you got yeah, but those, it's a group of extraterrestrials who we refer to, who we can classify as Neterus. That's during the ancient Egyptian time. That's millions and billions of years after the Sumerian teachings. Because the Anunnakis, well, you know, the Anunnakis, the time frames is different because the Anunnakis could time jump. They would jump. These Go'ulds wasn't using didn't have time technology, the jump time. They only but at the time they didn't. But the Anunnakis had time technology. Certain species had time technology, like the Riskians. Metaneta is the study of nature. Hey, you said it. Look at it. Hey, look at it. It also can be a measurement. Yeah, the measurement of nature, the examining of nature. You can spin it all kind of ways. Also, anyone else super tired, not really hungry. Hey, you gotta kick you into your second tank. You got 2 gas tanks, 2 fuel tanks. The human body has 2 fuel tanks. We'll talk about that on tomorrow. We'll probably get 15 to go in on it. Yeah, so it's people here that's got different they telling stories, but they add like all the influences that we from the different species. We're gonna do a tape tomorrow too on the feline race, so we can break that down for you. But let me go through some of these pictures. Let's see. So we got reptilians. So you know about the somebody asked about the Ramadians, right? Somebody asked about the Ramadians, and they saw the picture of the video that I got out, it's like a short clip of the 7-foot grays. Right. So keep in mind that there's different, maybe about 70 something species of different grays, maybe more now due to the different breeding and mixing that they've been doing since the Earth project of Mission Earth. The pictures you're looking at on the screen is a picture that the master teacher put into the holy tablets, and I think man from Planet Riz of Creel. Creel is the leader of the Ramadian Greys. Keep in mind the word Mars. These beings were put together before the humans. Before we started creating the Adam Project, these beings were created as excavators and as explorers, and they could go into different atmospheres that we couldn't enter that would without being inside of a certain type of atmosphere, dome, or habitat. These beings they have a different type of mechanisms where they can go into certain atmospheres. We'll go to the feline beings. We want to do a whole tape on that, Clark. Yeah, but these beings were created maybe when we first got here. Maybe their DNA was taken from the Tridacodites and Meldekians that was on Meldic from the reptilians. They genetics was pulled from that and a couple and some insects. We crossbreeded reptilians and insects and created another type of robotic type bodies that these higher dimensional beings could use and go in. We could use these bodies as avatars and go into certain so Creel can look like this. Also, he got other avatars that look humanoid looking. It depends on what he's doing, but this is like his main avatar. But his main light body, how he look in the light body form. But he can use avatars. They got the technology to use avatars, so he come down as human. Right? He can come down as a human. And teach the people. Sometimes they do that. Some beings can do that because they're given the galactical pass to help us, because other beings breaking the galactical law and stepping in. See, when other beings that's higher dimensional beings step in and start messing with us, when they breaking galactical law, where the watchers, they can step in too and start kind of like trying to keep the balance, so that though they able to step in due to their contracts they got, and keep the balance, keep these other, because if they wasn't here, if the beings like the Andromedans and all these other beings that's watching over us, like the Arcturians, if they wasn't here, we would already been invaded and completely took over already. The only thing that's keeping us from being completely took over is these beings, these higher dimensional beings who here, and they by the book. They strict beings, they by the book. The Andromedans are by the book. They strict beings. But this particular being, Krill, he's the leader of the second species of Greys that were created. The other species that look like the Greys, the Asgards, they really not really Greys, although they have the same type of body structure, although they have a hump on their head. These Asgards got a hump. They actually really not Greys, because they actually looked at more humanoid before they took those avatars. But these beings, we created them on Mars, and they were supposed to go out through the galaxy and fly on these unmanned, where they were unmanned ships, but they were manned with these beings, and they could go use the Stargate to get on the ships. They show you that in a Stargate series called Destiny Fleet. That was a fleet of ships that the ancients, the Riskians, we weren't called Riskians then. We don't call Riskians till after we created Risk. We weren't called Riskians. They refer to us as ancients, the gate builders. We got different terms they refer to us as. And then later on, we became known as the Atlanteans. That's later on down the line, after all the Anunnaki stuff. Later on, when Tahuti and all of us came, the second wave of children, when we came and started restoring the planet back due to the crash. But originally we created 200. Krill has got 200 brothers. 200 brothers, or what, 199 brothers, including him, it'd be 200. It was 200 original 7-foot captains that we created. Each captain could command over in between 10,000 to 100 million soldiers. The soldiers are the little 4-foot beings. The Krill and them is 7 foot tall. Like in the video I showed you of the 7-foot gray, the actual being that's in that video is actually Krill's. Well, it'd be like really, it's like 200 of them, and they really all connected. They like brothers and cousins, and they like and fathers, right? Brothers, cousins, and fathers. These 200 captains. And one of the that dude that I showed you in the video, that tall 7-foot being, he's Krill's cousin, and he's over another group of beings that come from another star system that's by like about 200 light years away from here. If you want to know about that, just go to the Galactic Family of Life playlist, scroll down to where the grade tapes it, and watch the Book of Extraterrestrials. Actually, we got the book. If you want to get the Book of Extraterrestrials, we got the Book of Extraterrestrials for $20 donation. You can get all 5 books for $50 donation. I mean, all 8 books. We got 8 books out for $50 donation. But the Book of Extraterrestrials is out, where I break down the 200 captains, right? The 200 captains that the original Greys. And these beings reproduce from their genetics. They reproduce the little short ones. The little short ones can range in from between 3 and 5 foot tall. Most of them be around about 4 foot tall, right? And these 200 7-foot beings, they control those other beings like a remote. This being, the head being would be like the queen bee of the. If you look at them, they look like a bee. Don't they look like a bee without the different extra little things on their head? You can see the bee. Look at the eyes. A bee eyes are all black, because we told you that when we first created these beings, we used the Tridacidite, Meldekian, reptilian genetics, and insect genetic, like the bees, the benevolent, the neutral beings, because we made these beings to where they were neutral, to where they can fight, but they don't gotta fight. Because there's certain beings that's cherry beings, and then certain beings that's seraphims. The seraphims not fighters. The benevolence not really fighters. The cherry beings are the fighters, right? So we made these beings like a split personality where they can be fight, or they can be disagreeable or agreeable, or they can be neutral. We made them like that. So, but they really not. We didn't really create them to really fight. We created them to really to go explore the galaxy and explore different planets for different minerals, right? But you can see the bee, see the big black eyes. You look at a bee, and or put some wings on, a little like bee wings on him, and all that. You'll see a bee. Looking at a bee and an ant, because we mix these different insect genetics to create these grays, right? Because the insects were created, we already broke that down. Go back and get the insects tapes. Go back and we already broke down the plant race from Vega. Go back and get the plant race tapes. Ain't nobody else doing what we're doing, I'm telling you. We broke down several different species already. It says, should we be taking a couple? So. Your copper levels, everything, you got to get to know your balance, know how you feel when you take it. So you can start taking it, but once you feel a certain type of way, it's hard to really explain. Then you start taking it. That means your copper levels are back normal. You got to get all your minerals back normal, but you could really just take sea moss. Sea moss has got copper in it. Sea moss has got gold in it. Sea moss has got the 102 minerals, right? All the elements down there on the element chart is inside of sea moss. All right, so yeah. So these beings were like, explorers. And we created them on Mars, which is why most of them has got Mars encoded into their name. Like the marker beings. The marker beings are the Ramadians and marker beings started a war on Mars, and nuclear war, and that's why Mars was looking like it looked on the surface, although it's being re-terraformed now, and it's still water, atmosphere, everything on Mars. You actually can breathe on Mars once you go through a particular type of calibration, right? Okay, but oh yeah, we'll get to some more questions in a minute. Let me just, because I'm going through the questions that people asked already in the comments. We respond to all the comments that people left. Yeah, so it's 200 captains. 70 of these kingdoms got captured by the reptilians. And Creel's brother, who Aleister Crowley claimed to be a student of, he said he was a student of Creel's brother that he met in ancient Kemet. Keeping in mind, they got pictures of graves on the wall in ancient Kemet. Keep in mind, we were a type 2 civilization before these Anunnakis came in and reset us back to caveman mentality. They trying to reset us again, which is why you hear the flat earth niggas coming out. They're trying to reset us back to caveman mentality. Why you hear the flat earth niggas coming out, man? Right? But his brother, well, these beings were we was in contact with these grays. We knew all about all these species in ancient Kemet and over here in the Mexum. That's why we had the landing pad so these beings can land and they get off their ships and they communicate with us. All our Native American tribes, especially the Hopi, because the Hopi really one of the most influenced extraterrestrial tribes, because they are really a mirror tribe to the Dagon. They really are the Dagon tribe who mixed with Hoshin once they got over here. When Hoshin came over here, the Dagons came over here, then the Hoshin mixed in with them and created the Hopi tribe. Part of them broke off and went down south and took the dragon worship with them. Hold on, we're gonna get to that. I'm trying to see what CJ talking about. Robot, CJ. Okay, so what I was at, there are 200 captains. Krill's brother, his name is Oswald, if I'm not mistaken. I think his name Oswald is the dude that was supposed to teach Aleister Crowley and gave him a book of certain information about high level magic, and he supposedly got that book from Creel's brother, the one that started the war for the reptilians on Mars. So a war took place on Mars between the Greys. So and then 70 species, 1/3 of them, 1/3 of the kingdoms, 1/3 of the 200 broke off and started to fight with the reptilians. Because keep in mind, we told you in your Biblos, the little book, right? We told you that this Hala, or these dragon beings, reptilians, Dragonians, convinced 1/3 of the heavens to join on with them. Right? Well, that 1/3 was not just one species, it was 1/3 just about of every species chose to join on with the reptilians to fight for on their behalf, to fight from on their perspective. So 1/3 of Creel's yeah, we're doing it, Creel. We handling it right now, Creel. I'm gonna tell them, okay. So the 1/3 of the Greys kingdoms decided to join on with the reptilians, and that they were part of that war that took place. A lot of people, a lot of species lost their home and had to relocate. Earth is an end project. The Earth Project, or Project Blue Rock, is an end project to settle the wars in the galaxy. Right? So all the species that were in part of the war, all their genetics got brought here and reproduced. So you got millions of different species here. This is one of the only planets with this amount of species on the planet. Most planets only have 3 to 4 species. And then most of those species live in the center of the planet instead of the surface, where you have people on the surface and the center. There are several planets where people live on the surface, especially the water covered planets in Cyrus and them areas. But so all the species that were part of the war got brought here to Earth, and to see how y'all would live on one planet. If you look at Earth really tells the story of your whole universe, your whole galaxy. It tells the story right here on Earth, how the food chain is, how everything is in order here, how these things play a part, like the bees play a part in the pollination, and then the birds move the seeds when they get, like, everything is part of the same way your galaxy is in order. Right? It says, yeah, Earth is lit. Yeah, Earth lit. So that's the part about the Greys. The dude's asking about the Ramadians. And then you got the Ashgardians, which they more advanced than the Ramadians and the lesser species of Greys, because they actually are older race that we met as the ancients when we went to a galaxy called Ide. Then once we left Ide, we went to Pegasus, where we created the insects and bird race. And then we left there, and then we came here to this particular galaxy. And then we began creating the reptilians, right? The Greys, several other species were engineered when we got here. Yeah, everybody has a job, and to say that chain is being thrown off because people don't know what's happening. That's why, look, the ancestors and our ancestors off world are letting us put this information out. That's why we put the off world tapes out with Alex Collier. We got about 15 more tapes coming out this week with other people that we bringing on to speak to so we can make it clear. See, the tapes that we just put out on the Alex Collier tapes, we already had those tapes on our page. We had to take them down and remix them so we wouldn't get copyrighted. So we already had all this information out, but I guess everything worked as divine plan, because now that being that I have to delete them and redo them, now that I'm reposting them, people can hear them better. Now that we put out a certain amount of level of information, people can kind of hear, and they can kind of chew the meat, spit out the bones on what Alex Collier is saying. We just want you to get the part on that these off-world beings are trying to come here and influence us, trying to be our God, trying to make us bow before them, trying to control us when that ain't the case. We're supposed to be controlling ourselves. We're supposed to be our own gods. And that's why the Andromedans are here to monitor that. The Andromedans are here to monitor that. It says, are there any mammal species like deer? Yeah, yeah. It's a whole race of species, a whole race of beings called the Centaurians from the Centaurian star system. And in fact, that species is several different types of them species around Earth. I mean, that's in the universe. But these Centaurian beings, they come from the Centaurian star system. And they are your mammal, your horse, your cattle type beings, your goat type beings, your cattle types. They come from the Centaurians, and they were brought here too as well. And also they mix with Hindus. This species of Centaurians mixed with Hindus, and now you got half what they call a centaur. Let me pull it up real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. I know y'all know what a centaur is, right? It's a half horse, half man. All right, so those beings live in the Centaurian star system. And they are the Centaurians, it's a group of them that 1/3 of them chose to fight with the reptilians and got cast out of the fifth dimension. So it's some demons, it's demon, so the beings that there will be the beings that went with the 1/3, right? So like Creel's brother, if you was looking from a religious standpoint, you would say that Creel's brother is a demon, and then that Creel is an angel. Creel is an angel of the Lord, and that his brother is a demon. And the beings the beings from the Centaurian star system who chose to fight with Lucifer, Hela and them, they would be classified as demons, right? I heard somebody say, man, they said they saw that gray, and he said that's a demon, man. That's a demon. He got they scared him, they scaring him up, right? Man, that's a demon, man. I'm telling you. Yeah, from your perspective, if you want to say he a demon, that's cool. You can say they're a demon, right? We ain't got no split on that. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's blow this up. Let's show you this. These beings. I know you heard of the Baphomet, and you heard of Pan, the Greek god Pan. Or these beings actually exist, and they actually used to come to Earth. See, it's a restriction now for these beings. Got to either cloak. They come here, and if they got to pass, they got to cloak themselves. If they don't got to pass, they cloak themselves anyway, so they don't get caught, so they won't be breaking galactical law. But all this get ready to be lifted, where you can see these beings. But they can't come in until all the people, not the fear is removed. They can't come into the planet till the fear is taken off. That's what we was trying to break down on the Alex Collier tapes for you. Let me show you these beings real quick. Oh yeah, hit that like, hit that subscribe button if you in the building, y'all. We cracking heads and twisting caps. And keep in mind, right after this, we got a double header tonight. Right after this, we bringing on the brother Rod Hayes tonight, y'all. So you don't want to miss that. You want to be in the building for that. What did I save this at? Oh, that's to the Rod Hayes thing. That's why you can't find it. Hold on, let me save this picture for y'all so I can show y'all these beings. These Centaurians, and they range in color just like the horses. The horses have different colors. You got white horses, stallions. You got different species of horses, right? So it's different species of them too, like humanoid types. With the half man, half horse, half man, half goat, half man, half cow, half man, half bull, right? And at one point they was living on Earth. And some of them still live in the center of your planet. Some of them still live in the center of your planet. All right, so these beings right here, the good ones, are protecting the planet. They're some of the most best warriors in the galaxy, and they got some of the most advanced warships, right, from Centaurian star system. And also as well, yeah, they protect the Earth from off-world invasions. The reason why we haven't been invaded, one of the reasons why we hadn't been invaded, because of these beings. But keep in mind, there's one side of them, especially the ones that got the bull face with the horns, they chose to fight with the one, they chose to join the 1/3 and fight with Halon now. So some of them are demons, what the Christians would call demons. And they got the 72 demons. One of them is a captain. There was a captain for these beings that got kicked out. If you look at one of the 72 captains here, half horse, half man, we already broke that down in the Scroll of Eyes books. You want to get them books, like I said, we got those books for $45 donation to the Cash App, $50 donation now to the Cash App, PayPal, and we'll send you all 8 books in a PDF form. Leave your email in the link. And we talk about all these beings, the Centaurians. We break all these beings down in the book of Extraterrestrial. That's one of the books that we got. We got the Hustles Manual. We got the Scroll of Eyes, the Galactic Family of Life, Volume 1, the Orion Group that talk about the Netarus, or the Netar, for the brother CJ, talk about the Netarus. And then we got Dream Scroll, the Language of the Birds, and the Ascension Manual, right? And those books right there, we got 8 books. Yeah, but these beings, some of them protecting the planet. A group of them was protecting the planet to keep it from being invaded, because their ancestors are here too. The horse beings are their ancestors, these calf, the mammal type creatures. And these beings were taken out of generated from the reptilians. And the camel, all of them come from this genetics. Some of them don't have half human, half man. Some of them look just like a horse, but they super intelligent. Like the horses here are intelligent. Like I told you about, my dad had a horse named Cujo. They could take 20 miles out in a random location and just let him out. And he'll go all the way back home. He'll find his way back home because he was that intelligent. So they real good on sense of direction, and they are timekeepers and record keepers. These beings are the record keepers. They keep the records. They guard the records, the Akashic records in the galaxy. So like I say, it's different species of them. Hold up, let me go back. So we got different pictures of it. Let's see. Did I say more than one picture? Here you go, a picture right here. Like I say, I'm gonna do a whole tape tomorrow on the feline beings. We're gonna do a whole tape on the feline beings and who they mix with and all that. So keep in mind, different species were mixing in the galaxy to make treaties. That's how these beings come about. He like a camel type, a camel or llama type mix with a human. Keep in mind, a lot of different species in the galaxy mix together to create treaties. A new married reptilians. A new married Dragonians. He married different types of reptilians. Right? We're gonna have that pictures, the pictures of that. I think we got that. We don't got that in here though. But a new married different types of he had 80 different wives, and all those wives was from not all of them were humanoid species. Keep that in mind. Some of them had mixed with most of them had mixed with humans, but a lot of them wasn't humanoid species. Some of them were reptilian species. Some of them were feline species. Some of them were nomos. He had nomos wives, feline wives, and actually Anu's when we created these feline beings in Lyra, it was due to Anu had created like a high dimensional pit race, and his main Anu's pet became the leader of these beings. His name is Tony, and they put him on front of a cereal box. They put them on front of a cereal box, and little do you know what that was all about. So you thinking that they all just put them on the front of a cereal box? No, Tony the Tiger was a news pet. Tony the Tiger was a news pet who became the leader of these feline beings. And they put him on front of his slogan is, check it out, they're great. They're great. And look at what he holding his hand up. He talking about the Anunnakis. Look, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, bro. You thinking that this, where did they get Tony the Tiger from? They just made that up. And look at that. What you think about that red scarf around his neck? He was a news personal right-hand guy, tiger, pet, that they had a whole race of these beings. And they planet got attacked. They fought, but they was fighting with us. They were fighting because it's another species that fought with the reptilians, the dog-looking people. See, it's a group of dog beings that come from the same species as that Anubis was mixed with. See, the humans down here, all of these species that I'm saying, the human got these species genetics in them. They took 23 different species to create the human genetics. DNA from the reptilians, the feline beings. That's why we said it. That's why we showed you in ancient Kemet all the different zoo types and connected with who you are. That's why over here in ancient America or ancient Mexum, we had zoo type names. Like your name was Black. Like my name is Black, or my title is Black Hawk. That's my call sign, Black Hawk. So we got zoo types because these species were mixed. It was 23 different species that were mixed in, genetics that were mixed in to create the 46 chromosomes. And one of those races is the feline being. So a lot of y'all, that's why a lot of y'all don't know why you like cats. Why you like cats? Because the cat, you probably are from that race and you came here to experience the human life. And in order for you to come here and live in this body, it had to have part of that feline genetics in the genetics in order for you to be conducive with living in this body, right? In order for so the feline races, all of animal type, zoo types, like some of y'all started out here as lion spirits, like some of y'all are feline spirits. Some of y'all started out as insect spirits. Everything has a spirit. Everything that's living has a spirit, even plants, all the way down to a gnat, right? 20. Yeah, so all the different the 23 genetics were put together to create these human cars so that these beings, higher dimensional beings, could come here and avatar the cars and be incompatible spiritually with the body so that they can experience the earth and so that we can settle the score on make peace in the galaxy through Project Blue Rock. Right? So some of y'all got cat genetics, some of y'all got dog genetics. Some niggas look like dogs. The dog species actually mixed in with humans, or the genetics is mixed in with humans. The Warnies, right? Like the Hindus they were ones that were mixing with all the different species. So some Hindus left, or some Ghouls took humanoid feline avatars like Bastet when she came here, and she had the genetics of these feline beings. A lot of the women, a lot of the feminine energy of the women energy is coming from the feline race. That's why women walk like cats. The fine women, they got that walk, they walk like a cat. Look how a cat walk and look how a woman walk. Right? So the genetics, the feminine genetics traits, Sukek, who else? Bastet, I think Ishtar's got I know Ishtar got a feline type, zoo type. So it's several. You go back to, we're gonna be going over that too, though. We're gonna be going over there. We already went over that. Really, we already went over the Goa'uld classes already. We put those out years ago. So you just scroll down and go to Orion group tapes and watch those. Like it's like Galactic Family of Life, 25 through 30 something. Yeah, so some of y'all might like love cats, and the reason why you connected with cats, and cats don't, some people scared of the cats. So some people like dogs. Some people got the dog genetics in them, like Snoop Dogg. And the dogs and the cats was a part of the dogs fought with us, and they were our friend. They were loyal to us. And another the group of the dogs, they were dumb because the dog ain't really that smart. The dogs ain't really that, they brain capacity only go to a certain level, and then that's what they cut off. See, what makes us different from all the other species on the planet is that we all them species put together to make a super being, so that our brain can exceed the capacity of the 10 or 15 percentile, right? So we developed the body to be more advanced, and that's what the Anunnakis is afraid of, that they made us too advanced, so that where we can pass them and become their gods, and they're gonna be bowing before us, right? They're gonna be bowing if you're gonna serve your children. That's what it's all about. You say you look like Snoop, you may have that dog, in you, man. The dog. It's a doggy dog world. They say it's a doggy dog world. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be coming back on a part 2 to this tomorrow, because we're going to get off in about 14 minutes and get ready for the raw tape. So we're gonna get ready for that in a minute, but we just wanted to bring this to you, try to clear some of the things up that's going on, because we got another series of tapes coming out with another being that's gonna be breaking down some more stuff. But we hope that you watch those tapes with Alex Collier, because he break down some key things that we already been saying, and so you should get. We're trying to really break this God shit where it can be free. We're trying to get you to the point where you can be caretakers of your own planet, and then you can be invited back into the galactic family of life again. You can be able to travel to other planets freely without no restrictions. See, it's certain beings here that they getting charged right now because they got in bed with Ashtar Command and the reptilians and the dirty grays and the dirty Moors. It's really the dirty Moors, Enlil's children. They in bed with Enlil's children. The dark space program, which is controlled by Enlil's children, people that's dark skinned, is funded by them, and they've been sneaking off trying to get out of here, trying to go to Mars and trying to find some more land, because keep in mind, Rod Hayes said they was coming here to look for land, to steal niggas' land, and they couldn't. Once they found out that they couldn't find no plot of land that we went on, they went to Mars. But they found out we was already there. Then they went to the moon, went to the moon first, then went to Mars, then went to Venus, found out we was already there. Tried to go underground, they found out we was already there. So they can't find no home. They still looking for a home. These dirty Moors. Yeah, some of them got 6 to 7 toes. A lot of the Titans, these big cyclone type beings, were really worker beings that lived on a planet called Titan, which is a moon to Saturn. And some of them lived on what they call Pluto, which is called Gaga or Platoon. Also, Earth can be referred to as Gaga by some beings. It does depend on what species you're talking from. When is the Galactic Accord proceedings? It's already happening. It's happening right now. We already took Enlil to court. We're going to take Ashtar Command to court this week for time travel and breaking galactic laws. We taking hey, I'm telling you, man. We taking Ashtar. We already took Enlil to court. We got the court trials is gonna begin next week, where we're gonna actually be in court, and Enlil finna get his sentence. He already got trapped. We already trapped him in hell. He being held for galactical crimes right now. It's happening right now. When I put the tape out, that's when the file went in on behalf of Key. On behalf of Key, the file went in, and we filed charges against Enlil for a cease and desist on all his people to stop doing their chemtrails and taking advantage of the planet. Yeah, it's a lot of energy hitting the planet now. It's a lot of a lot of these beings. A lot of these beings are here now to observe and get ready for the graduation. For those who gonna be able to want to leave, so some of people are gonna choose to stay here and be caretakers of the planet, and go through and be teachers of the next school. But there's rules and regulations that come with that too. See, we are the class of 2030. You know what I'm saying? We the class of 2030, baby. Everybody that's here now. We the class of 2030. It's gonna be a new class, a new group of students. They're gonna come to Earth and be taught. We get ready for graduation now. That's why we educating you on this level of information. Those who have the DNA to go to what we talk to go to the level are gonna make it, but those who don't, they're gonna go extinct. Those who have the natural intelligence, your mitochondrial DNA has evolved and became more intelligent. Thus, making you more intelligent, making you more immune to what's the things that's about to hit the planet. You're gonna be able to cross over to the fifth dimension. You notice a lot of people just dropping dead right now. It's dying left and right. A lot of people are dying. A lot of people are just coming up missing, and that's happening because the planet is going extinct. The people going extinct, right? That's what's happening, man. It's not that they most of the species a lot of them only hate Earth because of the anarchy. See, deep down inside, we are the children of the anarchy. They used their DNA to add to us to make us what we are, which was really against galactic law, but they already did it, so you can't take it back. So they want to take that back. They wanted to take that back, but that's why the only reason we haven't been set all the way back is because there is rules and regulations and restrictions that have been placed on them. So the reason why they hate us is because they hate these beings. They hate that these beings can tell them what not to do, and then they do it, just the opposite. The anarchies go around setting rules for people, saying you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, but then they go right out and break the law, break the galactic law. So a lot of the other species, from the reptilians' perspective, and from the other species, they saying it's not right that they can do this, and it's not fair that they won't teach us how to ascend. So if you look at from the reptilians' perspective, the reptilians are the good guys, and these other guys are the bad guys. So it depends on what perspective you're looking from. Oh, hey, I told Anu, this is my last mission to Earth. I'm getting up out of here. I'm getting up out of here. But I will come back to visit because I like the way Earth is a pretty beautiful planet. But I got other jobs that I got to go on. I got to go do this on another planet. The same thing I'm doing right now, I got to do it go on another planet to do it. Because there's more than one planet that's being influenced by Earth world beings. Like he told you in that thing, he says 22 other planets. It's actually more than that. It was actually 2,000 light years in 2,000 light years in the area where all these planets are being controlled and slaved or formed for a food source or this or that, without the people agreeing to it because they are less evolved species. What'd you say? What'd he say? He says years I'm not coming back. Nah, man, I'm going back. I'm getting up out of here because I want to it's like it was very stressful down here. It was very stressful here on this planet. Trying to get my memory back. The hardest thing was the first thing you got to do in this world when you come here is to remember who you are. And we as a race or as a species been trying to do that, trying to remember who we are. But it's been a whole bunch of influences, especially religion, trying to keep us saying that we serve as a God and we children of God and we're going to serve and bow and Jesus Christ and all this. They've been perpetuating that on us to keep us from knowing really who we are. I'm telling you, man. There are 13 monkeys in the house, 13 monkeys. 13 monkeys. Yeah, so like I say, it's gonna be more tapes that finna come out this week. We really just hitting you with, we're really trying to get back to just the extracurricular shit because we don't want them to take down our page. So we're trying to walk light. We're doing the extracurricular stuff. Plus we're gonna finish all the tapes that we're supposed to finish so we can get all the Earth information out. So we go and get into teaching you really the real, getting into the out space. We already gave you a lot of real information, but we want to get into teaching you more about what's going on in your galaxy. That's my job. But people complain about, man, why is you talking about extraterrestrial stuff and he ain't talking about what's going on the planet? So we had to go and take a break on the extraterrestrial stuff, throw that in every now and then. We had to go and clear up the Native American, all the stuff that people was asking. We put all the tapes out on who the Armax, who this, who that, who the Sabians, who the Egyptians, who these people, who that people. We still got to do the Samaritan tape. We're gonna finish all the Earth tapes. We're gonna try to get a lot of them out this month, but we're finna hit you nonstop with our school, which is the extraterrestrial school, getting you more up to speed, speeding your brain up, capacity up. So when these beings start interacting with us, you won't be in fear, and you'll know who the good guys and the bad guys are. But keep in mind, you got free will. You got a choice to say no or yay. Now, some people might say we don't got a choice because they gave us all the choices that we can pick from. So you really don't got a choice if you pick it from all in a group of choices that they gave us. But you got a choice to say, no, I don't want to go with y'all. Or no, you can't probe me up my behind. No, you can't take my my uterus or my fetus or my eggs, ovaries. You can't take that. You are free to resist, which is why the reptilians came about. They were free to resist. Rod's gonna be on at 8:30, y'all. The people that's asking about Rod, I'm gonna get off this tape right now, and I'm gonna take about a 10-minute break. Then we're gonna be back on for the Rod Hayes tape tonight at 8:30. So you want to tune in for that? We had to just come in. We're gonna this is just part one to the extraterrestrial question and answer tape. We're gonna do another part tomorrow, and we're gonna go in some more. But I'm kind of crunched for time right now because I got the Rod Hayes tape tonight. Right? We crunched for time tonight, so we got the Rod Hayes tape, which is gonna be 25 minutes from now. So you want to tune back in for that. Then Tuesday night, we're gonna be me and Rod and the sister Miss Dean going in on the Baba case and how Baba was set up. So you want to be in for that. Tune in for that on Tuesday night. We got a lot of information that's going to be unfolded on Tuesday on Baba's case. So you want to get in for that. It's after 9. Yeah, like 8:30 Central Time. So it'll be 9:30, I think, or 10:30 on the East Coast. No, they don't got a right to abduct us. They can abduct. They only can abduct certain Caucasians, and those are the Caucasians. And they're really not Caucasians because you got to be blonde and blue eyes. They can abduct certain species that got beast, a certain type of blood type. The beasts, they can abduct animals, right? Ain't the galactical law, they can abduct animals, a certain species. But it's really against galactical law. But the government made a deal with these beings, and these beings, the beings they made a deal with was the marker beings, the bad beings. So they abduct. They say you only can abduct 250,000 people a year, but they abduct in millions, and some of those people never come back. They actually eat them. They actually eat these people. These marker beings, the way they eat their food, they chop, they grind, they got a big old blender, and what they do is they chop humans' legs and arms and body parts up and guts and everything from animals and humans, and they put them in a blender and they blend it up real good like a smoothie. And then they jump in it. They got it in like a whirlpool where it's blended up, and then they jump into it, and then they swim around in it and absorb it through their skin, absorb the solution like a smoothie through their skin. These marker beings. Yeah, I ain't coming. Hey, I don't think I'm coming back until I might not come back. it got to be like I say, it's some nice, beautiful areas on this planet once you travel all around the planet like we did and fly all around the planet. It's some beautiful areas like Grand Turk, Bahamas, Jamaica, Costa Rica, like the tropical areas, the equator areas, man, beautiful. Heaven. The equator areas is heaven. So before it's all done, I'm gonna be moving close to the equator. And the equator get ready to change position. It's changing slowly as the time unfolds. But we're about to get up out of here, man. We gotta get ready for the Raw Hayes tape. We gotta take a break real quick and use the restroom, get our coconut water set up, get everything set up for the Raw Hayes tape. So we're gonna be back for part 2 on this tomorrow. We're gonna really get into your questions. So Wadu, we out. Be back at 8:30 for the Raw Hayes tape. And if you want to get those books, like I say, 8 books for the $50 donation to the PayPal or Cash App, and leave emails in the link. We'll send you 8 books in a PDF form by the Young Elder. We got the